What's up, guys? Badger One here with Badger Team. I'm gonna shoot some video tonight, play some more games that other than ARMA. Um, Still with the military theme. This is one of my flight sims that I like to play. This is called Strike Fighters 2. There's 4 different Strike Fighters, and they're older flight sim games, but the graphics are still pretty good, and it's a lot of fun. Not quite as complicated as DCS World or other games like Lock On or something like that. You don't have to manipulate all the controls inside your cockpit, and it's got a pretty good options set up, so you can come in here and customize the way that you like to play. If you like to play more of a video game-ish, kind of where you're flying third person, you can set your difficulty settings on here to make it easier to fly, so that you're just flying around in here just bagging bogeys with missiles and guns. That's fine. Or you can turn these settings up and make it a little bit more difficult, where you actually have to use your radar or be in the right angle for certain weapons to work, to lock on and that kind of thing. But it's pretty detailed. There's 4 versions of this game that came out. This is Israel. They also have Vietnam. They have one called North Atlantic, and then they also have another one called Europe. Europe is more of a Cold War type setting. North Atlantic is too, but North Atlantic is more tailored to like Navy Marine Corps style aircraft. So you get to fly F-14s and F-4s and that kind of thing. Kind of goes through like I think the North Atlantic campaign takes you through like 85 maybe. But it's got some pretty cool ways you can set up the game. It does have a mission editor too, like ARMA, so you can go in here and customize your missions. If you want to create single missions, you can even design full campaigns in the game if you want. It has an instant action feature. If you don't want to set up missions, you just want to get straight to the combat, you can just click instant action, and it picks a fighter and picks enemies for you, puts you on a terrain, and you fly. So I have my difficulty level set kind of at like a medium kind of level, just so I can kind of work on my piloting skills. I'm not an expert PC pilot by any means, but I do kind of like a good dogfight, and I do like getting gun kills and that kind of thing. It's got a pretty good selection of aircraft. Since I do have all 4 games loaded at the same time, it has all of the planes from every one of the 4 games. So I have all of my Vietnam aircraft, all the aircraft from the Israel campaign, all the aircraft from the Battlefield Europe, which they give you A-10s and some different versions of F-4s. Then this version being the Israel campaign, I have all of the Israeli named aircraft that were on the Lend-Lease thing when Israel was fighting Lebanon and all that. So that's what's with the F-4E, the Kronos, and you can scroll down through here. They have F-16 nets and the F-15 BAS. And then you scroll down through, there's some British aircraft in here, Harriers and Hunters. Then we have French Mirages. All the way down, they even put a P-51 Mustang in here for the early years of the like the Yom Kippur War and stuff. But anyway, it's pretty cool, and all these aircraft come with their own detailed cockpits, controls, and then all of the accompanying weapons that go with every one of these aircraft. You can choose what type of mission you want to fly when you create your single mission, and it's dependent on the aircraft. So if you were to pick a ground strike aircraft, it's only going to give you, strike or close air support missions, that kind of thing. But if you pick something like I have here, like the F-15, it opens up fighter sweep and combat air patrol intercept. So let's do one right quick, and I'll just kind of show you how the game runs and what the graphics look like. Let's do an Israeli F-15, and then it just shows you here you can choose the year that you want to fly. And basically what this does is it just, when you choose the year, it's going to tailor your enemy aircraft sorties based on the year that you put. So any of these really from 76 to 82. You have the possibility to get anything from MiG-17s all the way up to MiG-23s. The most common enemy aircraft is probably MiG-21s and MiG-23s once you get up in the 80s. But if you go anything 80 and below, I mean, you could get some MiG-17s, MiG-19s mixed with MiG-21s. So let's put it on 82. We'll leave it on fighter sweep for the mission. And like I said, since I have 4 games loaded, we can actually pick any of these terrains, but we'll leave it on the Middle East for this one. You could do randomized start time, or you can actually select it. Let's just leave it at random. Enemy air activity, I like to leave it at random, and enemy air defenses at random. Enemy air defenses are vehicles on the ground. So if you want to know what your mission is going to look like, your flight path and all that, you can click this little icon, and then it shows you here. We're going to take off from this location. We're going to fly out in this. We'll follow this flight pattern, and then these are going to be our enemy fighters. And if you want to see what those are, you can click on them. See, there's some MiG-23s there, MiG-21 PFMs there, and MiG-21 Biz. And you can tailor all of this. If you wanted to fight other aircraft, you could click this drop down and you could pick anything. See, there's all the MiGs, 15, 17, 19, all the different versions of the MiG-21. There's even SU-7. There's Russian bombers in here that you can pick to fight. Anyway, so it's pretty customizable, but we'll leave everything set up the way that it is right now. And so along with that, if you were to change these are Syrian aircraft that we're going to be fighting, but you could come in here and change the if you wanted to fight against the Spanish Air Force or something, you could do that, and then change their markings and their camo and all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool that you can come in here and customize everything, but we'll leave everything the way that it is. And so once I click accept, I believe I've got it set up to where we start in the air. I'll go to the next mission screen, and then you can choose your roster. It'll show you, this is me up at the top. Just kind of list your activity in the game, and then your NPC pilots will be listed below you with their skill levels and such. You can come in here and assign different pilots to these flights if you wanted to change them out. It's like, say you wanted a pilot with a little bit better experience, you could switch him slots with somebody else, so that if you wanted a more experienced wingman, you could come in here and put somebody else on your wing. This also has a loadout screen. You can come in here, gives you your aircraft here. Like I said, we're following the Israeli version of the F-15. So hence, instead of Sidewinders, we have Python 3s. We still have Sparrows for our long-range engaging. You can pick your squadron up here if you wanted to do a different squadron. Let's do that just for the hell of it, just to see. Let's do Areva Guardians. And so when you do that, it'll change the markings on your plane and stuff like that. So the AI does pretty much everything else. We'll have a AI tower that will be in contact with us throughout the flight. They'll alert us to any enemies in the area. They'll also alert you to ground targets. This is our flight name right here. We're Dallas 1-1. Our wingman obviously is going to be Dallas 1-2, and then on down the line. So it's not going to be just us flying, or me flying by myself. We have pilots that are going to be flying with us in this this mission. So without further ado, let's click fly. I'll get to it. This is the load screen. So this is the inside of our plane, the 15. We've already got bogeys here to our left. to us. This is our heads-up display. Right now I have AIM-7 Sparrows loaded. So we're going to go ahead and let loose and see if we can get this guy. We can follow our missile. Here's our missile inbound to the target.
Watch it. You got one on your tail.
Got this guy, I think.
You got one.
Smoked. Pick up the next guy.
Dallas, lead. Red ground. Multiple bandits. Right, 1 o'clock. 2 miles. Angel 15. Heading northeast. Clear to engage.
You got one. He's burning and going down. First 2.
So
I
within
see
about
them.
4
I
miles,
got him.
let's go ahead and switch to our Python missiles.
Bandits, bandits.
You got him. Missile inbound.
Dallas, lead. Red ground. Mission accomplished. Good job.
Watch it. You got one on your tail. Missile inbound. You Spanish.
Drop our tanks. And that looks like our last enemy. Was that guy that we were smoked? There he goes. Crash and burn. So you've got several different cockpit views you can do far away, up close, and kind of a medium range. You can do it outside the aircraft from this perspective. You have it from this perspective with a free camera, so you can kind of see your plane, what it looks like. You can track your enemy like I was doing a while ago. You can also identify ground targets. There's a ZSU-23 on the ground way over there. If you wanted to see him, you could just click an F key and it shows you what he looks like on the ground over there. This is re-waxed all of our bandits. Let's go ahead and turn back and head back home. We can sort of speed up the time a little bit. Looks like we're going to be landing right over there. Just going to start slowing down a little bit.
Dallas, 1. Approach. Radar contact.
So that's our conning tower at our air base down there talking to us. You can also communicate with your wingman. You can hit tab and talk to your wingman.
2, 4 razors, 4 heat, gun, no damage. Dallas, 1, contact, tower.
Let's see if we can land. I'm reckon. So we're going to bring it in and touch down on that runway right there.
Dallas, 1, tower, wind, 300, at 5, runway, 27, in use.
Everything on the aircraft works, so I'm going to work at a speed brake and slow myself down. got pretty simple controls for everything. It's just keys on your keyboard. V and F for flaps. G I got set for gear. Let's see if we can bring this eagle in and land it without wrecking. Lined up with the runway here. Just try to put my flaps out. It said I was going too fast.
Dallas 1, tower, wind 300, at 5, clear to land.
Got my flaps down. Got my wheels down. Let's see if we can touch down here without bottoming out. Now, it does have the option, you can skip all of this if you just want to get to the next mission and play. If you were playing a campaign, you could just hit escape and it'll just give you the mission briefing and you can opt out, but sometimes I like to land. Just kind of finish it up right. About right. Bouncy landing. And then you can maneuver on the runway and stuff too. If you want to take it over to the hangars, you can do that. You can do it from inside the cockpit. HUD's doing funky things. It's weird. So you can come down here and actually steer off the runway and go all the way to the hangar if you wanted to. Anyway, that's it. It's a pretty cool game if you like to just come in and shoot down planes. Engaging enemy ground targets is always cool too. Let's do one of those next. Don't want to make a really long video, but let's fly with the United States, U.S. Air Force. And let's do a strike. And let's leave it in the Middle East. And then the minute you hit accept, it goes and generates the mission, so you don't really have to do a whole lot. Here's our mission. Strike strategic target located at Hull 1 airbase. Attack and destroy the enemy fuel tank. Call sign Tomahawk. We're going to have 2 F-16s in our flight. It will go ahead and give you nearly, well, 100% of the time it will go ahead and give you the loadout that it thinks that it's going to dictate for the mission. You can change it if you want, but most of the time it's pretty dead on. But let's switch it out for, let's do 2 Mark 84s and 6, and then we'll leave our sidewinders and leave our drop tank. And fly. We've got our Mark 84s and our Mark 82s, and we've got two Sidewinder.
Fox 1.
I think these are Lima's Sidewinder L's.
Fox 1.
And so if you look at the map, this is where we're zooming in. We've got enemy air coming in on us from the south. So we'll keep low to the deck. Avoid this AA that's over here.
He's going down in flames.
This is inside the cockpit. You can look around a little bit using your free look.
Bandit. Red ground. Zebra lead. Copy. Waypoint 5.
Zebra 1. Red ground. Copy.
Fox 1. Fox 2. Fox 2.
It's going to be up here on the other side of
Tomahawk
this
lead.
ridge.
Red ground. Bandit. 6 o'clock. 1 mile. Angel 0. Heading north.
Let's
Bandit.
go ahead and
Bandit.
arm our bombs.
Last one bandit.
Get it up on the hood.
Fox 2. Fox 2.
And so this is what we're striking right here. There's some aircraft parked on the ground over here.
Fox 1. Last one.
Roll up on this thing. I'm just going to do a straight pass. I'm not going to do a pop-up or anything.
Fox 2.
I'll do some more
I've got
videos
Winchester.
and do
Fox
some different
2.
types of
I've got
strikes.
Winchester.
I got him.
Fox 2.
I'm
Fox
just going
2.
to do a straight run for this mission.
Last one bandit. Fox 1.
So there's our fuel tank. We're going to watch our HUD. Wait for that circle to get right in the middle of the target, and we're going to release our bombs.
Gone.
2 away.
Tomahawk lead. Red ground. Mission complete. RTB.
Last one bandit.
And now we still have 6 500-pound bombs to do other damage with. We're going to go back and hit those aircraft on the ground over there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go back and hit those planes.
Red ground. Gunslinger lead. Copy. Waypoint 5.
Gunslinger 1. Red ground. Copy.
Let's see if there's any air. Maybe there is. I've got some air targets we can engage. Mark 17 So it gives you waypoints so you can find your way back to base. That's what the white triangle is. So if we wanted to fly this, we could do what we did before and just skip it. Skip past it. Right now, I've got realistic cockpit conditions set. So if you pull G's, you'll black out. If you push G's, you'll red out. You can get wounded in the cockpit, but your plane still be okay, stuff like that.
Tomahawk 1, approach. Radar contact.
And I did all that combat with my fuel tank attached to my belly. But for 2012 or so, this game's got pretty good graphics. You don't really appreciate it until you get real up and close.
Tomahawk 1, tower, wind 030, at 5, runway 30, in use.
Do afterburner.
Tomahawk 1, tower, wind 030, at 5, cleared to land.
I think we overshot our runway a little bit. We're supposed to be landing on this one down here. Slow down a little bit. I'll pull this turn, it's really going to bleed some speed off for us. Looking at back here. Wheels down. Fairly certain I should have come in on the other end of that runway, but that's okay. Touchdown already. somebody else runs into us. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to come in down here. There's other planes landing. What's that? There's all the other aircraft sitting on the tarmac over here. That's pretty cool. What's up with that plane? I see him sun on the pavement. This Kiffer sitting over there. That's cool. Anyway, that's it. And so then it gives you a mission debrief, tells you what you did. You can look at your stats. Dropped 2,000-pound bombs, scored 2 hits. Dropped 6 500-pound bombs, scored 4 hits. It gives you your percentage. Fired 187 rounds from my 20mm gun. Got 6 hits, which was enough to take down that MiG-17. And then my wingman, he didn't do anything because I was the guy that struck the target first. So he didn't get any weapons kills at all. And then it gives you your timestamps on all the things that you did, which is pretty cool. You want to kind of see. The only thing that I wish it did would was give you a map so you could kind of see. And then if you like this mission, you could go in here and save it so you could run the exact same mission again. You could go in here and edit, and you could edit the enemies. You could add more enemy ground targets. You could add more than one target if you wanted to. So it's pretty cool. Not as in-depth as ARMA 3 mission editor, but it's still pretty cool that you can come in here and build your own missions. So anyway, this is Strike Fighters 2 Israel, and I'll try to get some more of these flight videos up, flying in some different environments. I really enjoy flying the Vietnam aircraft in the Strike Fighters Vietnam, and I've got a couple of campaigns going, so maybe I'll follow along a couple of missions in my campaigns that I have there and put those up. But anyway, hope you all enjoyed it. Till next time.